good morning India. Welcome to News This Week on Spirits TV. I am Shalini Kumar with the latest updates from the world of alcoholic beverages and hospitality. Let's start with policy related stories coming from different states. In the wake of a spike in COVID cases, the Chhattisgarh government is reintroducing online sale and home delivery of liquor. The Excise Minister of Chhattisgarh, Kawasi Lakhma, has instructed department officials to commence online sale facility of liquor not only in Raipur but also in other districts of the state. This decision has been initiated to reduce crowds in the liquor shops. Till 31st December of the last year, 24 liquor shops were sealed by Delhi's North, East and South municipal corporations. According to the concerned civic authorities, these 24 liquor shops and 113 such outlets were served notices for violating municipal laws or the Master Plan 2021. These liquor shops were set up under Delhi government's new excise policy, which came into effect on 17th November last year. Under the UP government's most recent excise policy, all the 532 liquor vents across Noida will be required to install CCTV cameras and a track and trace system, including keeping point of sale machines and QR code scanners for uploading the details of the stock sold per day on a centralized system. The process of geofencing the outlets in Noida aims at increasing transparency, preventing illicit liquor sale and tracking the demand and supply of liquor in the city. Let's see some good news about the free trade agreement. India's Trade Minister Piyush Goyal has informed that India was looking to have free trade agreement with UAE, the UK, Australia, Canada and Israel, and talks with them are in various stages of progress. Piyush Goyal said that India is at a very advanced stage with Australia on concluding the interim agreement, which will cover very large areas of interest, particularly labor-oriented sectors including agricultural products. The minister said that India is working with a great focus on expanding bilateral relations with several countries. Let's now have a look at what is making headlines in the hospitality and related sectors. The third largest hospitality association in the world and India's Apex Hospitality Association Federation of Hotel and Restaurant Associations of India has signed a memorandum of understanding with the government of Jammu and Kashmir to promote hospitality and related infrastructure in the Union Territory. This is the first time in the history that a joint MOU has been signed between an association of hotels and restaurants and the government. The MOU was signed at the Real Estate Summit 2021 jointly organized by the Government of Jammu and Kashmir, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India and National Real Development Council at the Jammu Convention Centre. According to a recent report, over 45 million Indians dined out at their favorable restaurants in 2021, with Delhi being the dining capital of India. As per the report by India's largest dining out and restaurant tech platform DineOut, Delhi accounted for 32% of the total diners in India in the last year, followed by Bangalore at 18%. According to the report, Bangalore emerged as the liquor capital of India in 2021. The report said that because of the higher disposable incomes, thanks to our work from home lifestyles, luxury dining did increase by 120% and fine dining by 105% across India in 2021. And the average number of diners per booking had also risen in India in the last year. According to the report, North Indian food was the biggest hit among the dining out crowd in India in the last year, followed by Chinese and continental respectively. In the 19th edition of CSI SIG E-Governance Awards for Excellence 2021, the E-Akbari project has been selected for the Award of Excellence under project category. The E-Akbari project is an initiative of the Excise Department of Arunachal Pradesh. The E-Akbari project is directed to facilitate business and bring in transparency and revenue enhancement by plugging the possibility of revenue leakage. The E-Akbari portal is an initiative by the National Informatics Center Arunachal Unit. It, along with the West Bengal unit of National Informatics Center, developed the portal. Let's move on to some interesting stories from across the world. Taiwan is sharing tips with the public on how to drink and cook with rum after it bought 20,000 bottles of Lithuanian rum bound for China. While Taiwan is a self-government democratic state, Beijing sees it as part of its territory. China stepped up pressure in the past year to isolate the island from its international allies. It comes after Lithuania allowed Taiwan to open a de facto embassy there, a potential sign of growing ties. China downgraded its diplomatic relations with Lithuania days after the embassy in Lithuania bears the name Taiwan rather than Chinese Taipei, the name used by many foreign nations to avoid offending China. A new alcohol law has been introduced in the Republic of Ireland in the recent past, under which it is now illegal to sell a bottle of wine of 12.5% ABV below 6.20 pounds in the Republic of Ireland. The legislation also stipulates that a 4.3% ABV can of beer can't be sold for below 1.40 pounds, while a bottle of spirits with 40% ABV can't be sold below 17.30 pounds in the country. With this, Ireland is now in the league of select few countries which have minimum alcohol pricing. Scotland and Canada are some of the other countries which have this measure. Light to moderate consumption of total alcohol is associated with a 25% lower risk of glioma brain tumors when compared with the lowest category of intake for both men and women. This has been suggested by a new research by the International Scientific Forum on Alcohol Research. According to the study, a cumulative average consumption of total alcohol of over 8 to 15 grams per day was associated with a quarter lower risk of glioma brain tumor when compared with the lowest category of intake 0 to 0.5 grams per day. The study's findings were identical for both the genders, and there were no difference according to the type of alcoholic beverage consumed. Beam Suntory and its parent company Suntory Holdings have pledged $1 million to two organizations engaged in providing relief and recovery in the wake of the powerful tornadoes that devastated communities in western Kentucky and several other states of the US. The donation will be divided equally between the Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund and the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. Here is some good news for the seekers of new brands. Now Spirits, the makers of Greater Than and Hapusa Gin, has launched their second limited release gin named No Sleep in collaboration with Sleepy Owl Coffee. Sleepy Owl Coffee is being projected as the pioneer of cold brew coffee in India. In stores already in Goa, Bangalore, Mumbai and Pune, this coffee-infused gin is perhaps the first of its kind product in the Indian market. No Sleep will arrive in New Delhi by the end of January 2022. No Sleep brings together gin and coffee and is devoid of sugar, coffee extract and artificial flavor. The smooth cold brew infuses 100% Arabica coffee from Chikmagalur, Karnataka. An Indian-inspired whiskey, Daru, was awarded top honors at the Craft Distillers Spirits Competition 2021. Strand Spirits Daru, a Canadian whiskey, took a double gold medal as well as Best of the Best honors at the competition. Daru is an Indian-inspired whiskey with a 100% Canadian corn blend that gives it a unique sweet and a fruity taste. Strand Spirits was founded by two brothers inspired by what's said to be their father's history of making spirits in his native India. Finland-based Anora Group has come up with its brand Carlo's portfolio of non-traditional and modern Irish whiskey with Carlo cuttings. Carlo cuttings, bottled at 37.5% ABV, comprises ingredients like linden flower, thyme, yarrow and rosemary. It comes in 700 ml bottles and is available for purchase at $32.71 in Finland. Bacardi has released its first non-alcoholic spirit brand, Palette, which has been created to elevate alcohol-free cocktails. Bacardi and bartenders in Amsterdam jointly crafted two 500 ml expressions of Palette, namely Palette Roots and Palette Bold, with the aim of creating a non-alcoholic spirit that would inspire creativity among bartenders. Palette Roots offers a deep, complex and fragrant flavor and is made using juniper berries, ginger and the oils of nutmeg, cloves and cinnamon. Palette Bold is said to taste like an aged spirit with an upfront and punchy experience followed by woody, oak and smoky notes. Svedka owner Constellation Brands has partnered with the Coca-Cola Company to create a line of ready-to-drink cocktails under the latter's Fresca soft drink brand. This partnership will release Fresca Mixed, a range of spirit-based canned serves, later this year in the US. Last August, Pepsi and Boston Beer Company announced the upcoming launch of a Hard Mountain Dew seltzer. One of the oldest single malts ever commercially bottled, 72-year-old Glen Grant has been named as the world's finest single cask whiskey in the Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible 2022. Distilled in 1948, Jim Murray considered the 72-year-old Glen Grant cask 440 from Gordon and Macphail to be truly stellar, giving it 97.5 marks out of 100. The score equals the highest ever recorded in Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible, which has now been published each year for the last 19 years. As well as being named the world's finest single cask, the whiskey has also picked up the title of Scotch Whisky of the Year. This was all for this week. I will meet you again next week at the same time. Till then, cheers with care and stay safe.